Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, Chaos Crew. What it do? Hi, if you've never heard, my name is Coley, esteemed by a subscriber, as well as any one of those three. Alright, with me. Around here, we do commentary, basically. We see shit, we say shit, we talk shit, a lot of talk shit, but you know what? Hey, it is what it is, Batman. Anyway, so, okay, now, today, whenever you watch this, okay, I'm going to be reacting to a creator who loathes myself. And fun fact, the feeling's mutual. Okay, so, anyways, I just wanted to come on and react to this video. I've never seen it, and I wanted to react to it with y'all because I just did. Anyway, so I'm going to preface before we begin. Okay, in this video, okay, there's a creator called Steph TXMA, okay, and she makes commentary videos. Apparently, she's like, I don't know. Some people call her like a call out channel, a holding people accountable channel, or whatever. Okay, so that she does commentary and whatever. I don't even know what the fuck she does. She just does something. Okay, to me, she's just downright mean. Okay, and that's just my fucking opinion. She's mean. She's a mean bully. Personally, that's what I think. Anyways, oh god, I can only imagine all the videos they've made about me saying that statement tomorrow. But you know what? Hey, bring on the hate. Bring on the trolls. I'll make a video out of it. Anyways, so moving on. So there is also a furry little feline named Recaps with Bobby, and he's a little black cat, and he loves to go around and stir up drama. That's what he likes to do. He's hateful in his delivery. He's very, very mean, and it's wrong. It's wrong. Okay, so there's a different way you can fucking deliver your content. You do not have to be hateful, and I've had to learn that the hard way. I used to be mean. I used to be hateful. I used to do those things. That's how I know it's possible to fucking stop doing it, because I'm trying my best to stop doing it. Okay, so now that you know the backstory of these two, and also these two people or these two creators used to get along, and all of a sudden one day they didn't. I am not sure what happened. I'm just as much in the dark as you are. That is why I decided to react to it with y'all. So let's get to reacting. Hey, now let's present screen. Okay, you can see it. Okay, good deal. Now I'm gonna go full screen. I'm gonna go put myself right down here at the bottom, and we're gonna watch and see what the fuck is going on. Ready? Go.
Question is for that cat over on Recaps with Bobby.
Our community's favorite feline.
The cat has lied enough. The cat is a problem. Who's ever going to be able to prove who that cat is, except for the cat?
Okay, I just want to say something from the jump before we get started. She did one hell of a job editing this, so kudos to you, Jess. I'm dead serious. It looks great. I'm not lying. And the video is very well made so far. Should I put me right here so y'all can see me reacting to it? I mean, like right here, so we can see me reacting to it, or no? No, let's put me down here, and if there's something noteworthy, then I'll just pop on in, you know? All right, I'm going to mute myself, shut the fuck up because I'm long-winded as hell, and let's get back to it. Okay.
This project was started the week that Recaps with Bobby returned to the platform, when a group of people started talking behind the scenes and wanted a place to put all of their various receipts together with the context in a way that was easy to share. I elected to do this, but I can't take the credit for all the research, information, screenshots, recordings. I ended up doing this from my perspective, not because I wanted to take all the credit, but honestly, I tried recording it a few different ways, and this was the only thing that felt natural to me. Also, I realized halfway through recording
Sorry, you know, I have to fuck up in some way in every stream. Okay, I don't know who the person is that's talking, but that's definitely not Steph talking. So I'm not really sure. She's a beautiful voice, though. Anyways, let's continue. I just wanted people who don't know Steph to know that that's not her talking. But I guess she will be. I'm not sure. Let's find out. Oh, wait. The fuck am I doing? Okay. Let's get her done.
Recording the voiceover that I had been pronouncing Tira Nicole's name as Tyra. I don't even know how that happened. I do know how her name is pronounced, but apparently the second I go to record myself, I completely forget how to speak. I don't know. My apologies for that. Next, it's going to be a long one. So different people were interested in there being background information to go with various things. So I just included all of it. Feel free to watch on 2x speed, pause to read screenshots, or skip things that aren't relevant for you. No one is being doxxed here. I repeat, no one will be doxxed in this video. I'll be speaking about 2 channels, DENA Danzig, aka Pale Raven Hearth, and Recaps with Bobby, and I'll only be sharing things posted to social media. I know a lot of the people involved likely know a lot more about the person behind these accounts that has been posted. I won't be discussing those things, so no one needs to worry about that. Also, someone found me a screenshot here to show that, nope, DENA Danzig isn't even this person's real name, it's a social media handle. There are going to be people who still don't love the idea of outing an anonymous channel. I'm usually one of those people. To be honest, this feels different to me because we aren't talking about a subscriber who wants to make content on an anonymous channel or a creator who wants 2 channels for different kinds of content or in different communities, but a creator active on 2 channels in the same community at the same time, using that second channel to engage in behavior that is ethically questionable. A number of people discussed in this video have ongoing issues with one another. A lot of these creators are problematic. So I just want to clarify that nothing in this video is necessarily a defense of said creators, but just looking at how those interactions show that DENA may be behind the Recaps with Bobby account. Finally, I realize not everyone will come to this video and have their opinion changed on this. And that is okay. There are some interesting points being made, even if you don't ultimately buy into this theory. And most of the criticisms given about Bobby's channel hold true regardless of who is behind that account. So on that note,
Hello, and welcome to my channel. I'm a robot cat named Bobby.
Recaps with Bobby started his channel in September 2021 and did weekly drama recaps featuring creators like Without a Crystal Ball, the OG moms from the Teen Mom franchise, Trisha Paytas, mommy vloggers, the Krama community, foodie beauty, commentary topics like that. Whether it was due to the combination of topics he covered or just subscribers' interactions with him, a lot of people started to speculate about the person behind the account. And Bobby made a habit of pointing out all the wrong guesses about his identity.
I should like to thank my harassers and detractors for keeping me in a constant state of amusement. All of your shite detective work has gotten you absolutely no place at all. Yet, you still rise daily to the time wasted of figuring out who I am.
Which is an interesting approach because if you think about it, it made it into a kind of game, and I think ultimately encouraged more speculation. Most of this was just harmless, out of genuine curiosity, although on occasion it was a creator seeking retaliation for having been featured in one of Bobby's videos. This was the case with a man named Roadhog, whose claims to know Bobby's identity escalated to threats to dox others and abuse YouTube's copyright strike system in order to get Bobby's private information. At one point, Roadhog, his wife, and one of their moderators, Jackie Sunshine, claimed to know Bobby's identity from an alleged original PayPal account that Bobby denies existed. They released the information of a high school student that they found by randomly searching for names associated with Bobby's PayPal account. Here's the part of this that interests me. Although the student seems to have nothing to do with the Recaps with Bobby account, they weren't wrong about the PayPal thing. Bobby was adamant that he had never had a different PayPal and that his PayPal had never changed. He even went as far as to say, okay, submit a refund request and then you'll have your proof because you'll have an email that says the PayPal you donated to and an email showing the name the refund will come from, which will be Bobby Recaps. He also made sure to include his Bobby Recaps PayPal in the thumbnail of the first of 2 videos he made on the situation on January 29th. So Bobby, if your PayPal is Bobby Recaps, has always been Bobby Recaps, was never anything else but Bobby Recaps, I have just an itty-bitty question. What is this Recaps with Bobby PayPal link you tweeted just a month prior to this? You also shared it in 2 videos from November 2021 within the videos themselves.
Oh my Jesus. Oh my Jesus. Wow. Recaps with Bobby lie? Hypocrite much? Oh, and guess what? After I make this, and this goes live, he's going to make a video about me. Bet. Anyways, let's continue and exposing more of this little furry feline that's going around, as Steph would say, knocking things off of tables and chairs, or tables and countertops and shit. Let's go find out what else he's been lying about. How interesting.
Here it is again on an Instagram post, also November. These are all still there, by the way. This video's description box had a recaps with Bobby PayPal link in December 2021, and sometime after that was changed to a Bobby recaps link. Once you create a paypal.me link, you can't change it or unlink it from your PayPal account. You have to deactivate it and make an entirely new one. And I'm assuming Bobby knew that, and that's why he was so comfortable daring people to request refunds. He knew it would never come back to Bobby recaps. Bobby says that this video included proof that he only ever had one PayPal, but I can't check it because it's been set to private. And this second video he made addressing the situation doesn't mention PayPal a single time, which seems like it had to have been deliberate.
As you have seen here on my channel, Mrs. Roadhog has been alluding to having personal information. I assure you, she does not.
How? How does Mrs. Roadhog say she found this information? Isn't that sort of important to the story?
Well, I was just recently made aware that Career Day Boss Hog has released the image and personal information of a minor child in the United States, claiming it to be myself.
Why this minor child? What made Roadhog think he was you? Again, important to the story.
And it appears he is simply searching for the term recaps and picking whomever pops up.
Where is Roadhog searching the word recaps? Google, Facebook, on PayPal? You see where I'm going with this? Especially considering that the discussion over on Twitter revolved a lot around whether or not Bobby had a different PayPal account, because Jackie Sunshine wasn't the only one to bring it up. This Twitter user, for example, explained, I don't think that Stocks was the right thing, but that name was yours before on your Twitter. I don't care what the name is, never did. But I don't like how it's being told the PayPal link never changed, because it did. Many who donated know it, so it's a bad look trying to convince us we're crazy now. I also found this community post where Bobby conveniently shared the Bobby Recaps PayPal the same exact day he made those videos. My gut tells me that Bobby panicked and moved fast to create and promote a new PayPal link, change all description boxes, gaslight viewers about it on Twitter. I don't think it showed he was a teenage boy in New York, but something. Actually, Bobby now shares a third PayPal link, Recaps Bobby, and you can find examples of all three still on his various social media. It was after the situation with Roadhog that Bobby began reminding his viewers that he was from the UK every chance he got. The AI voice used for Bobby obviously has a British accent, but this wasn't something Bobby mentioned outright very often previously. He started sharing news stories to his community tab and reminding everyone in live chats what time it was where he lived. The UK references just felt, I don't know if the word I want is gratuitous, not genuine. Like the only purpose they served was to remind his viewers every few days, Bobby lives in the UK. Another thing that always felt off to me is how Bobby's spellings of particular words, specifically those that are spelled differently in American and British English, is so inconsistent. I don't know many Americans who spell favorite with a U 2 days of every week, or have any British friends who spell realize and utilize with an S, but apologize and recognize with a Z. And that's because typically your device's spell checker or autocorrect is set to your location. Bobby's about 50-50 on the spelling of most of these words. I think it's unlikely that a British man is occasionally overriding his device's spell check to intentionally use the American spellings just for, I don't know, funsies. I think it's more like that an American is doing their best to sound British, but missing some of the words that their American device is trying to autocorrect back to American spellings, if that makes sense.
L O L O L O L O L.
I think there's other evidence to suggest that Bobby isn't from the UK as well. I've noticed that when he shares his screen to reference Twitter, the news stories that will populate on the side of his homepage, they'll be US news stories. So like here's an example. On the bottom left here, you can see this is Bobby signed into his Twitter account. And on the right-hand side, they'll say trending in the United States. And just for a comparison, this is what Julie ViRGO's would look like, where it says trending in the United Kingdom. And in the photo Bobby shared of what he said was the real life Bobby, the cat that his programmers built him based on. This is a US outlet, not a European outlet. But the biggest thing that no one has questioned is, why is Bobby's Cash App in dollars and has been that way since the start of his channel? If it was connected to a bank account in the UK, wouldn't it be in pounds? I think Bobby realized this mistake as well, because
I keep forgetting. Oh my God, y'all. Oh my God. Are we seeing the hypocrisy here? What the fuck? Wow. I don't know who put this video together because that ain't Steph's voice, but let me tell you something. Kudos to you, my friend, because you got it going on. I'm loving it. And not just because it's Bobby, but because it's showing. This motherfucker here has put, you don't understand, y'all. This motherfucker has made video upon video upon video on me and many, many, many creators. And he goes way below the belt. He talks about my mouth, knowing that I was attacked 2 years ago. He knows that. And still continues with this meth narrative. Okay? So I'm just glad that people are finally waking up to this bullshit. Because that's exactly what he is. A fraud. He's a fucking liar. He's a fucking liar. That's why you make all the videos you do. It's called fucking projection. Anyways, kudos to this creator, bro. For real.
Just 2 weeks ago, he shared a new Cash App on his community tab, but this time in pounds. It was only up for a few hours, and I'm guessing whatever workaround he tried to get one in pounds didn't ultimately work out. It's gone now. Now I want to discuss the story about who runs this account. The earliest version of this story that we got as viewers was in October 2021.
A very long time ago, White, a modern witch, possessed a cat companion named Bobby. He was her constant companion. The pair were inseparable for many, many years. Eventually, as all mortal cats do, Bobby crossed realms. The witch was simply devastated. She was in this rut for quite near a year. Residing in the solitude of her flat, watching mindless content on YouTube, she suddenly conjured an idea. She would create a cat just like Bobby, only better. Not better. Bobby was irreplaceable. But a cat that would never leave her. Building me was not the difficult part. She did that quite efficiently. It was the task of programming me that became a bit of a problem. Or, it would. My dear witch had designed a program to which I might adapt to my world, as opposed to being customized to an ideal.
All right, let me play that part again. Notice that Bobby clearly states that it is his witch, a woman, who built him and designed his program.
Building me was not the difficult part. She did that quite efficiently. It was the task of programming me that became a bit of a problem. Or, it would. My dear witch had designed a program to which I might adapt to my world. So, my homebody witch person simply toted me along her days, listening to mindless gossip, reality television, and the occasional challenging game show. As I learned the basics, and the useless jumble of current dramas, I was able to broaden my horizons with good books and challenging puzzles. Unfortunately, despite my efforts to tailor my now instinctual first experiences, I was stuck with an unhealthy interest in the one things I despised the most. Internet fucker. In the meantime, my witch was quite chuffed with me as a lifelong companion. And, as she never quite liked to speak her thoughts and grievances on her favorite guilty pleasures of the internet, I simply had no problem. Actually, it turned out I was quite the intelligent asshole. My many opinions on current fuckery built up in the front stage of my data collection. So much so that I feared my intelligence would be replaced with Jeffree Star. It was then that I created my YouTube channel. Prior to this, I had spent 6 years quietly raging inside myself at the absolute madness that is YouTube. And here we are, dear viewers. The end. For now.
Now, at some point, Bobby started referring to his programmer as a man, and later on announced his wife had passed away, and that was why he'd been absent for a bit. But when people mentioned it, thinking like, oh, that's weird, I was under the impression that it was a woman that ran that account, Bobby reacted very aggressively.
Say, when I went to T-Spiracy's stream and went on panel that same day, she mentioned, like, where's recaps with Bobby? And the chat was down there chattering. Oh, it's a she. And T-Detox, whom I have heard of, I think I've watched her once, actually. She was down there saying, we all know Bobby is a girl. And I'm like, what you talking about, sis? We all know Bobby is a chick because they say it in their intro. But everybody in AZ's chat knew that Bobby was a female. He had confessed it. It's in his intro. But he finally returns after 2.5 months to say that his wife passed away. Did he forget that he said he was a woman?
Someone is quite gutted I have returned. You cannot dox that which you do not know, you idiot. T-Detox cannot confirm shite, as she would not know either. And now I am someone named Jessica, who are obsessed. Stop it. I've not claimed I was female one time. This woman is absolutely disgusting at this point. Her obsession with myself is quite terrifying. Please stop blaming T-Spiracy. This cycle...
Because someone said something about you is makes them crazy or obsessed. Motherfucker, have you seen how many goddamn videos you've made on me? How many videos you've made on other fucking creators? Are you for real? So are you obsessed? Are you obsessed with these people? Are you obsessed with me? I mean, what's good for the goose is good for the gander, correct? So inquiring minds want to know. Are you obsessed with the people you cover? Because you don't just cover us once. You do that shit over and over and over and over and over again. So I'm going to need you to take several goddamn seats. And I don't know if you need some catnip or some new kitty litter or a new fucking cat toy, whatever the fuck. But you need to figure it the fuck out, because right now it's screaming. It's giving very, hypocrisy vibes. It's giving very, I'm a hypocrite. Okay. That's what it's giving. I can't wait for me to be the video tomorrow. Bet it. I bet anybody money that this motherfucker is going to make a video tomorrow simply due to the fact that he's being called out. I love that for me. Anyways, let's get back to this dumb motherfucker. Great video again, by the way. I don't know who the fuck made it, but it's a great video. For real. Because that ain't Steph's voice. I mean, I don't know, but this is amazing. Thank God somebody finally
The path continues to insist I am a female because she alleges someone who knows nothing about myself says so. Tyra Nicole, you are fucking lunatic. I am not a female. I'm not a single person on any platform possesses any information about myself. Give it up, you loon. After your disturbing comments about my programmer's late wife, anyone who supports your vile and desperate actions is equally appalling. Why is this vile woman obsessed with my gender? Each time I believe she cannot get any more grotesque, she does. I do suppose she is planning to have a go at my programmer's late wife again. To be sure to give her a view, she needs it.
Bobby attacking Tyra for going at his late wife is pretty ridiculous. Let's say it is true that Bobby is a man whose wife died. Because it wasn't something Bobby ever discussed on his channel, never mentioned having a wife until he said, oh, my wife died, Tyra couldn't possibly have known that. And her and others merely responding to what Bobby said in that video he posted to his channel is not having a go at his wife. If what Bobby's insinuating is that discussing any content made prior to his recent return to the platform is attacking his late wife because he's saying she used to run this account and now I run the account. Well, that's inconsistent with what he has said recently in a video.
Hi.
But yet he critiques people for doing the same exact thing. This cat is the epitome of a fucking hypocrite. If you have nothing to fucking hide, why are you being so shady? Just wondering. And I bet none of the creators who are his besties will speak up on this because y'all seen this video, y'all see the fucking hypocrisy, but are too much. Y'all are too bitch made to fucking react to it or talk about it. Just saying.
I'm Bobby, the programmer for the robot cat you all know and love.
Pausing here for a quick second because I already have questions. Is the cat's name Bobby or is the programmer's name Bobby? Because I thought the cat's name was Bobby, but here he's saying, hi, I'm Bobby, the programmer. Are they both named Bobby? That would be weird. Also, I understand why the cat has an AI-generated voice because he's supposed to be a time-traveling robot cat, but why does the programmer have an AI-generated voice? Is he also a robot? I'm confused.
I also do not wish to directly attack or target any particular person. However, when we decide to challenge another person, then that person has the right to respond. I would quickly also like to add I'm only showing some screen grabs simply for a bit of context. And I had honestly assumed that there would be some speculation or talk upon my return. And quite frankly, I did not want to speak on this at all, but my hand has been twisted and I really feel I have no other choice. My wife died. I am unsure how else to tell you this. She was the most beautiful and amazing woman who ever lived and she died. She was a large part of this channel and Bobby was inspired by her cat. My wife always loved cats and I am currently caring for her 3 cats who were left behind when she left all of us. This was not something I publicly shared on my platform as it was irrelevant to what we created.
Remember, originally Bobby said his wife was the programmer. In this new video, supposedly the husband has been the programmer all along. Later on in the video, it is said that they created recaps with Bobby together. In any case, someone responding to criticism that Bobby gave them is their right to do, just as Bobby says here in this video, about him responding to comments about him. At one point in the argument, Bobby responded by saying that maybe his programmer was a woman and he could still be married to a woman in that case, which is, yeah, true. But that then negates all of the times that Bobby said his programmer was a man, of which there are plenty. Look, he can't have it always. Something about the math ain't mathin', right? And he can't continue to be upset with his viewers for asking questions if he insists on contradicting himself. Speaking of the math, not mathin'. Bobby says in this video that he is 25 years old.
But in all of the joyfulness that is Bobby the cat, it is easy for even me to remember that there is a human behind the animal. I'm 25 years old. I never got to spend decades with my wife before she left, and it was an experience I would not wish on my worst enemy, which is also why I stepped away.
Okay, let's work backwards here. So if he's 25 now and first mentioned his wife passing away 1 year ago, that would have made him 24 at the time. In that earlier video he made about how recaps with Bobby came about, Bobby says he raged online for 6 years watching YouTube content before starting his own channel.
It was then that I created my YouTube channel. Prior to this, I had spent 6 years quietly raging inside myself at the absolute madness that is YouTube.
If this person is saying they originally programmed him, that would have made him 24 minus 6, 18 years old when they started watching the kind of content Recaps by Bobby covers. So teen mom drama, mommy blogger, Katie Joy Paulson, anyone with teenage sons, is that how they were spending their time in high school? I'm not saying it's impossible, and obviously men can watch beauty content or any content really. I just think it seems less likely that a teenage boy was obsessed with Katie Joy content than that this person looks more like the demographic of the rest of this community, middle-aged women. That's just my opinion. It also doesn't jive with the other comments Bobby has made, like this one, for example. So now, this is a 25-year-old man who has lived in Scotland, Norway, the Middle East, South Africa, and now the UK for work. Again, not saying it's impossible, but that would be one very accomplished 25-year-old. He also got married and lost a wife somewhere in there. Oh, and maybe had children because, let me find it, this screenshot, this is an infant bouncer, I think, in the corner of this photo here, right? Also, at one point last year, Bobby had shared this photo to his community tab and claimed that this was a photo of him and his wife. Do these look like 25-year-olds to anybody? Because they don't look like 25-year-olds to me. The last part of Bobby's video that I want to talk about is that he said he was absent to deal with the loss of his wife.
My wife died. I am unsure how else to tell you this. I do not share this for sympathy or to grit, I share so you truly understand what happened. Many of my longtime subscribers will recall that I took a hiatus for just over a month before I returned briefly, and then vanished for a lengthy period of time. I quickly realized that I just could not focus or function the way that I should, so I left.
I absolutely know this to be false in the sense that Bobby never left. Let me back up for a second. Bobby deleted his account on or around March 12th, something that was documented by a few different creators on YouTube. The same day, this other account, Delightfully Embarrassing, began uploading content. Their first video was about Radiant Brit and a channel called Onora, both of whom cover mommy vloggers and family channels. They also made content about Tyra Nicole, Dylan Mulvaney, Jeffrey March, the 90 Day Community, and Chroma creators. Maybe there were others I missed because the account disappeared in the first week of April, conveniently the week in which Bobby reactivated his channel. And one of the first videos he uploaded was this one, titled, Meanwhile, Alicia Doherty is Unbothered. Yeah, they're their same video. It was just re-uploaded from the Delightfully Embarrassing channel with a Bobby the cat stuck on top. It explains why in some of the first videos that Bobby uploaded after returning, the black cat is placed right on top of those graphics. It wouldn't make sense to have made those videos for recaps with Bobby's channel originally, because why would you put that graphic there just to cover it up with a black cat later? And I believe that to be true of a lot of Bobby's other first videos back, particularly the shorts about Jeffrey March and Dylan Mulvaney. I think that's why portions of these shorts are zoomed in so absurdly. When it was on Delightfully Embarrassing's channel, there was a text at the bottom of the screen, so that's why it's zoomed in. Another thing I noticed when I looked into these screenshots is this exchange in the comment section of the video on Tyra Nicole. You'll see in the sliver of the video that you can see in the screenshot above those comments, it says how to catfish with filters. And that was the gist of the video, just making fun of Tyra's appearance. So anyway, this commenter writes, rude, disrespectful, and if this is what you do for thumbs up, well, have fun with that. Shame on you. And Delightfully Embarrassing responded, didn't Tyra just addict shame someone? Didn't Tyra just attack someone when she's supposed to be seeing her actual kids that she doesn't care for at all for the first time in months? Okay then. Maybe give your friend the same advice. She calls people ugly. I'm irregular. I guess it's okay as long as she does it. Nope, not today. She can go cry though. Perhaps she should be focusing on her actual life without begging for handouts. My question is, if Bobby has been entirely off the platform, how does he know every detail that's been going on in Tyra Nicole's life and on her channel in the past 6 months? And this last thing is just a little thing, but Delightfully Embarrassing. Keep up with the most terrifying of YouTubers, the most embarrassing of public citizens. Both this channel and Bobby's cover not just the same creators and topics, but they make the same style of content. They have the same.
When I made a video commenting and critiquing Tira's parenting, number one, I'm going to say it again. I'm very sorry. I should never have done that. I really do apologize. Okay. Anyways, nonetheless, why can recaps with Bobby go after Tira's parenting and not be publicly dragged across the hot coals like I was? Inquiring minds want to know. Let's continue.
Same tone, if that makes sense. Just taking cheap shots at what they consider lolcows. Not judging. A lot of people make that content. I'm just trying to point out that these are essentially the same type of channel. And I think the creator that is behind Recaps with Bobby wanted to start fresh, doing the same thing on a new channel. And for whatever reason, abandoned that and decided to come back to Recaps with Bobby. I mentioned earlier, the creator behind Recaps with Bobby made it a point to refute every single claim to know his identity. Except for one. DENA Danzig. In case someone stumbled on this video without any clue who DENA Danzig is, or for the people who didn't follow her before, I'm going to provide a very quick recap and show a few clips.
I got my social media start on Instagram mostly. So I have like a yoga wellness kind of setup over there. And I'm also a writer, and I write short fiction pieces, and I also write health and wellness type things. And I openly talk about recovery and alcoholism. And I'm urged by many people to start a YouTube.
Okay. I don't know what the fuck is going on, but that chick, DENA Danzig, the one that's supposedly talking right now, why does she have a country ass accent? I have never heard her talk like that before. I've only heard, no, I've never heard her sound country like that. I mean, I could be wrong, but I've never heard her sound like that. So, does she change her accent all the time? Because I mean, I know that's her. You know what I mean? But why does she sound different than normal? Anyways, let's carry on.
YouTube channel. So I did about a month and a half ago, and that's going pretty good.
She went by the name Miss Fucking Reasonable on Twitter and became known for drawing from her own life experiences to share her thoughts on how we can protect our own mental health online and become better social media citizens. I wish I could play clips from these videos to show you what I mean when I say she was very, like her name says, reasonable in 2020, 2021. But she's deleted pretty much all of her content off social media. She's done that a number of times. So all I have is, maybe thumbnails, a couple clips from panels she went on other people's channels, but hopefully you get the idea. And for those who didn't used to follow DENA, the reason I say a lot of people might not believe that she was reasonable is because somewhere in 2021, 2022, something happened. And she went from sounding like this.
And if you're anything like me and the rest of, well, most of the world, you want to be a people pleaser. You want to be kind to people and you don't want to hurt people's feelings. I don't want people to come to my channel and have to deal with drama on yet another channel.
That's the voice I know of DENA dancing. That voice, not that country voice. Bitch, I'm from the dirty South, Louisiana, okay? That voice you just now heard of her talking, that sounded not country at all, that's the DENA dancing I know. So, does this bitch have multiple personalities? I mean, the fuck?
That is not the package I want to deliver to the people that I am fortunate enough to have as subscribers. I want to facilitate an environment where people can interact and coexist and do so respectfully. It's just about universally behaving better. And you're not going to find me bullying people. You're not. Have I been a snarky bee before? Absolutely.
There you go again. No country accent. DENA, you got some splaining to do, boo-boo. Not to mention the fact that she runs with a crew. People like Callista. That tells you everything you need to know, okay?
But you won't find me participating, even with people I get along with. You will not find me participating at all in anything that is even remotely mean. As a reformed asshole, I'm here to tell you, it is so important that we have these conversations in a productive and helpful way. And I want to see more people doing what myself and others have been doing for a long time, talking about the way that we treat each other and how we can all improve, all of us, myself included. Everybody says, well, what about your real life? Well, the internet is our real life. We work online, we interact online, we shop online, everything we do is online. So let's make it a safer place for everybody. When anybody gets to a point where you lose your shit to a level where you're posting people's homes and where they live and enticing people to harm them in some way, then that is when it's time to tell yourself, hey man, maybe I need to take a breather, right? Because nobody wins.
Two sounding like this.
I said that in that stream with AZ that I would cut her titties off. Well, first of all, that won't kill you if you live close enough to a hospital. It's a boundary. Well, I've been waiting to get swatted. I literally have. After all this, I've been waiting to get swatted. I had to call Lake County Sheriff's Department and be like, hey, if you get a weird call to my house, just give me a heads up, okay? Because I have 5 dogs and I'd hate for any of us to have a shootout. So me and Just Doom are going to have a conversation since he's too much of a fucking wetback pussy to fucking talk to me. And it took my oldest son 20 minutes to find the floor plan to your fucking house.
There's that country bumpkin coming out again. That's just bizarre. Either you, okay, the way, okay, your dialect and your verbiage and the way you articulate your words are different when you are born and raised in the South. Just like my homie that's, from Michigan, okay? One of my besties, okay? I can tell she's from Michigan because she has that accent. Have some homies from New York. One being from the Bronx. I can tell they're New Yorkers from their accent. I'm from Louisiana, baby. Loud and proud to boot over here, but what? Who that? Anyway, sorry. Anyways, but I mean, why the flip-flop of like articulation? Like what? Because this is weird. This is fucking weird. Okay? Fucking weird. And then she wants to get on her fucking channel and talk all high and mighty. We need to all love each other and we need to do this and that. Y'all, she hangs out, she fraternizes and hangs out in places where people are absolutely motherfuckers. Motherfuckers. She talks about me like shit. She talks about other people like shit. And I've never done anything to her. Not one thing. just because I stopped being cool with Callista. I stopped being cool with Callista because she fucking lied to me. I'm gonna give y'all a little synopsis for those of you who don't know. There is a chick on this fucking platform named Callista fucking Renee, and she sent me an email, a fake email, saying that Steph TXMA, Not Another Housewife, and Bambi's Rambles were going to blackmail her. Specifically, Bambi's Rambles was going to blackmail her for a certain reason, okay? And guess what? When all of it came to a head and she was called out, she left the fucking internet. She just completely left the internet. She deleted her channel. Everything left the fucking internet, okay? Well, then she reaches out, and I'm supposedly one of her very good friends at the time, okay? She stops talking to me, everything, okay? Then she decides she wants to come back to YouTube, and also because she got her law degree, so she didn't want any bad things to be following her in case, you know, her new law firm looked her up online. And then she decided, okay, I'm gonna call or message all the people I did wrong. But she forgot to message her real true friend, which was supposedly me, to let me know that she was A, coming back to the internet, and B, calling people and apologizing. She never, not one time, told me that she thought that fucking email was fake. I think she created the fucking email and just wanted to stir up shit. Point blank, period. I don't ever think anybody sent Callista an email blackmailing her. I think she fucking made it up. And if you, on Not Another Housewives channel, she goes down and breaks it down for you. Because the original screenshot of the email that was sent to her, it said something like the date was September 21st or something. And then the email she showed later was from the same email, supposedly, but it was from September 24th. That is when I cut her off, because that's when I knew, like, for a fucking fact that she had been lying blatantly to my face the entire time. Yeah, those people are pieces of shit. Sorry, not sorry.
Doom. Yeah, we have that. You don't know who you're fucking with. 20 minutes to find out where you bitches live, your fucking floor plans of your house, and everything else. And report this video all you want, you sad sack of fucking shit. You will fuck around and find out. You want to tell me I'm ugly when you look like this? That's your fucking face, dude?
But anyways, we are back in September of 2021 when Bobby the Cat started his channel, and DENA would avoid that sort of conflict. She had announced at the end of August that she would be discontinuing her Drama Pile YouTube drama recap series to focus on her true crime and art-related content. A lot of it Halloween themed in preparation for the Halloween season, which was DENA's favorite. She seemed to struggle between wanting to share her opinions on other creators and community drama and disliking the conflict that came with it.
But no, when I said everybody gets offended, it's because if I am neutral, then people get upset with me. And if I side with someone or I favor someone or I'm openly friends with someone gets upset with me. It doesn't matter. So
that's what people have a problem with. You're not neutral. You're fucking lying. You go with whatever you feel like that day. You're not fucking neutral. No, you're not. You're biased as fuck.
I'm not a drama channel. My tagline is, and the occasional internet drama.
I only pointed out because if you were a Halloween-obsessed, self-proclaimed witch who wanted to speak on YouTube drama without the backlash, wouldn't it be convenient if you had a black cat that might speak on it for you?
And, as she never quite liked to speak her thoughts and grievances on her favorite guilty pleasures of the internet, I simply had no problem. Actually, it turned out I was quite the intelligent asshole.
I think DENA wanted to have her cake and eat it too. She wanted to make this kind of content without it compromising the brand she'd built for herself on her eponymous channel, where she preached about not resorting to things like name-calling and look-shaming, for example. Once you start looking, it becomes apparent how many parallels exist between these two channels in terms of the other creators and topics they covered.
Chantal, otherwise known as foodie, beauty influencer, and fitness guru, Jordan Cheyenne. I take no alliances in this drama. Mandy of Self-Taught Beauty uploaded another video. We will move on to the glaringly problematic practice of trauma tarot. This cat has had his fair share of successful tarot readings, but I find issue when YouTuber tarot readers take advantage of terrible situations. As many of you are likely aware, Todd Chrisley has definitely sued Catherine Joy, but very little attention has been focused on Anthony. Anthony being the boyfriend of Creepshow Art, and former boyfriend of Emily. In all of this he has left Shannon to fight these battles on her own and remained in total silence.
Of course, Recaps with Bobby has covered a ton of the Teen Mom OG drama, which DENA has always said she followed. And in terms of specific stories, when KJ ran someone's Florida license plate during the Gabby Petito investigation, I remember it being DENA who posted to Twitter about that being illegal in Florida, which is the state that DENA is from. She also did an entire live stream.
Potato Sack Simp does not comprehend that violation of an American citizen's civil rights can be utilized by defense of a criminal and result in a mistrial. Catherine Joy does not understand how the judicial system in her country conducts itself.
Bobby, how do you know how the justice system in her country works? You're from the UK, right? I'm sure a lot of people know this information, but I didn't know this information. I didn't know the police couldn't do that. Seems like something very specific to know that DENA just also happens to know. Interesting. Never mind.
Never mind.
Bobby also covered a lot of the trending stories relating to influencers and their dogs, usually pertaining to responsible dog ownership and handling, which is something that DENA also prioritized on her channel as someone who has discussed her work as a dog trainer. In fact, the channel that used to be her DENA Danzig channel is now called Dogs and Things, where she has continued to post dog-related content throughout the time she's been quote-unquote away from YouTube. These videos of Bobby's do seem to reflect that kind of experience.
So, we are just going to counter a play-biting puppy with simulation of play-biting with our hand, while we scold.
My opinion, my conspiracy allegedly in this motherfucker. She made Bobby the cat because she's a dog person. So she thought nobody would see the correlation. Just my theory.
The puppy for biting. I am quite certain he will like anything that is not that poorly fitted choke chain. Yes, let us just smash another baby in the untrained puppy's face.
His content on Radiant Brit's coverage of the same stories is particularly interesting, as he always highlights the hypocrisy of Brit shaming dog owners, given Bobby's opinion of Brit's own track record as a dog owner.
Well, I tend to agree that the dog should not have had access to the roadway. There is much irony to be had here. You see, Brittany took to YouTube yet again to share the story of that one time her own boyfriend took their dog over to his flat. He took the dog off the lead and proceeded to be distracted and conversation with his mate. In this exchange, the black Labrador saw another dog and bolted across the field and into oncoming traffic.
DENA always felt similarly regarding Radiant Brit, which she mentioned in several of her own videos about trending dog stories, which she mentioned in this screenshot. Now, I get it. Tons of creators covered Creepshow Abby Hanna, That Crystal Ball. But for the sake of being thorough, yes, Bobby and DENA have always covered the same stuff. Not only did DENA announce she wasn't going to do her drama recap series anymore, around the same time that Bobby started his channel and on his first drama recaps video, DENA deleted all of hers. Not all the videos on her channel, just compile videos, because from the looks of it, she was still uploading content. I think where Recaps with Bobby went wrong was starting to cover smaller community drama, because it's one thing to cover the Jeffree Stars and the Creeps who have a ton of subscribers, and in that case, you're sort of starting a conversation with your audience about that larger subscriber and his or her problematic behavior. It's different when you start talking about members of your own audience who have, 1,000 subs, 500, maybe even fewer, and aren't monetized. They're people that are in your community who your other subs will be interacting with regularly. You've probably had interactions with them. In that case, you're starting a conversation with that person because they're in your audience, and you have to expect that they're going to want to respond, as is their right to do. Now, there's nothing wrong with making that kind of content or talking about smaller creators' problematic behavior. That's all well and good. But I don't think Bobby is interested in the back and forth that goes along with that. He's not interested in people having feelings about the content he makes. He wants to drop it and move on. He wants to drop his unbiased robot cat opinion and go on his merry way. And that's just not the kind of thing that you necessarily can do if you're making commentary about these smaller creators. This is essentially drama in a fishbowl. It becomes very personal. There's no way to avoid that it becomes very personal. Add to that, if you are also a different creator in the community, like DENA Danzig, who also has interactions, relationships, personal beefs, alliances with all these people, that's where the waters start to get really murky ethically. It's also the place where I think it becomes the most obvious that DENA Danzig is behind this account. I keep coming back to something a specific creator would say when I was reviewing their videos to put all of this together, which is,
Bobby the cat, your humans stay showing.
And it's true. In situations like this, where Bobby starts getting involved in small community drama that becomes inevitably very personal, this is where Bobby's human is showing. I might as well start with Tyra Nicole since I just played that clip of hers. For starters, both DENA and Bobby have said they have a quote-unquote soft spot for Tyra. They both have on-again, off-again friendships with her, and those friendships seem to go on and off at the same times. For example, here's what was going on between DENA and Tyra in September, October of 2021.
At the end of the fucking day, poked or not, did nothing wrong. Everybody preaches same energy. You're all full of shit. Add another housewife, Steph TXMA, Bambi's Ramble, DENA Danzig. I don't know what her fucking channel name is now.
And here's what was going on between Bobby and Tyra in the fall of 2021.
Also has an unhealthy obsession with several creators. Creators she seems to enjoy taunting to no end, only to stake her flag into the perpetual victim mountain. Problematic, rotund, little woman who sits in a shoebox and complains about all of her self-inflicted misfortunes. Our story begins roughly 9 months ago. Our Lady of the Hypocrisy, Tyrannically, begins a journey as a genuine YouTube creator. Perhaps smoking grass for breakfast and possessing the IQ of Ludo are not a favorable combination.
Things were on again when they both came to Tyra's defense in the last week of December.
For the first time in my YouTube career, I have communicated with Team YouTube in defense of another creator. And, much to the shock of many of you, this creator is Tyra Nicole.
DENA's video is obviously no longer available, but a few months later, Tyra shared her DMs with DENA in another video. And you'll see at the end of these that the date is December 27th, the same week as Bobby's video was uploaded. DENA and Bobby both fell out with Tyra again sometime in February, March. I know DENA made more than one video on Tyra during that time, but given that the videos are gone, the only screenshot anyone could find me was this one, which is just the link and thumbnail. This one is at least partly in reference to Tyra, who would regularly call herself a lone wolf.
No, dude, I ain't got no fucking allies.
And Bobby continued consistently uploading videos about Tyra until about April when he left and took a break from YouTube. He continued his coverage when he returned to the platform in June, and in response, Tyra posted this video. Her major complaint was that another creator, Granny's Watching, was using some of Bobby's old videos about her to accuse her of being an animal abuser and to discuss an incident where one of her cats was unfortunately run over by a car. Here's where things get interesting. Within the same week, not only did Bobby make a response video in which he said he would no longer discuss Tyra.
The woman is a lunatic and laughable at this point. I likely shall not mention her on my channel moving forward.
But DENA also showed up back in Tyra's DMs, seemingly apologizing both for her animal's death being used as content as well as her being called an animal abuser, which were Tyra's major complaints about Bobby's videos. And sure, maybe both DENA and Bobby felt badly for Tyra and decided to do this without any ulterior motives. But I have my doubts because even Tyra didn't interpret DENA's olive branch as being genuine.
Recently, she definitely tried to, I'll say, quote unquote, get on my good side, but that wasn't going to work.
And of course, both DENA and Bobby went back to making content on Tyra pretty soon after. This is a bit of speculation on my part, but looking at it all now, I wonder if the decision had something to do with what Tyra had been posting in the weeks leading up to this.
Why would recaps with Bobby ever talk about Bambi or Not Another Housewife and me? That cat ain't been around, but what, 6 months? The human bed showing, fam. There are many people in these YouTube streets who know who that cat is. But it's just a sweet little innocent cat, right? Don't take a cat serious. Well, a cat sure did not take me serious when I uncontrollably cried and talked about my mental health over and over, right? The cat didn't care. So since
Tyra, shut the fuck up. When I came on my channel fucking sobbing and shit because some shit was happening to me in the back end, and then I fucking had all this terminal illness or whatever, the day after my fucking terminal video came out, you drugged me on your video. So shut the fuck up. Check several seats, bitch. Every time I cry, you tell me that I'm lying. So fuck you.
I really don't have any proof of who the cat is, I don't give a fuck about this cat's mental health.
She was down there saying, we all know Bobby is a girl.
This all ended, of course, with Bobby raging on his community tab that Tyra definitely did not know who he was. I wonder if DENA thought Tyra suspected her. At any rate, I wanted to play all of that because this is something I've heard several times in recent weeks from people behind the scenes, that the reason they started to suspect that DENA ran the Recaps with Bobby account came down to an interaction where something just felt off. Strange biases, a sudden and unexplainable change in attitude towards them, knowing some background information Bobby shouldn't have if he were the person he says he is. Now, Tyra actually thought the person behind Bobby was another creator named Bambi's Rambles.
As much as I hate that this kitty cat is calling me marshmallow gangster or self-proclaimed gangster, that's fucking weird, cut it out. There is only one other person, only one, who has ever talked about Tyra and her fake gangster. I knew who Bobby was from jump, just from calling me gangsters. He's been doing it since he made his first video on me. Why so many gangsters?
But that's actually not true.
One phone call to my homies. One phone call is all it'll take now. I don't got a pot to piss in, but let me tell you what. If I gotta call my homies, as long as they don't want me to have a place to live. Look, I'm a lone wolf. I stand on my own 2 feet. Don't you fuck me, because I'm gonna call all the people I know. Because I'm a fucking gangster.
I am so disappointed.
One last thing I want to mention regarding Tyra before moving on. If you remember, I talked about this delightfully embarrassing channel that the Recaps with Bobby creator was running for a few weeks. If you go back to the comments that were on the video on Tyra, if you remember, I said, these are comments of somebody who's been following along, who's been watching, and they feel personal. This feels like there's some kind of personal animosity there. Well, those comments read an awful lot like the things DENA was saying the couple months leading up to it in various live chats. I mean, I hear DENA's voice when I read those comments. Moving on, I want to talk about a creator, Steph TXMA, and her experiences with both DENA and Bobby the cat. So short story long, Steph, TXMA, I'm just gonna call her Steph. Steph and Dina were internet friends or friendly, acquaintances, whatever, and had a falling out, in part related to the other creator I spoke about previously, Tira Nicole. Dina had uploaded a video on December 18th about the ongoing situation with Steph TXMA, Tira Nicole, and a couple other creators in the community. The following day, December 19th, Steph posted a video back to Dina, which was just essentially, I don't want issues with you. Here's why I was upset. I want to move forward. End of story. The day after that, on December 20th, Dina deleted her video and Recaps with Bobby uploaded a video on Steph, which was weird because Bobby and Steph had never had problems. Steph had always been a supporter of Bobby's channel. I think 2 weeks prior to this, Bobby had just shared a video Steph had made. So he was totally in support of her until she had issues with Dina. And of course, just because 2 creators fall out with a 3rd creator at the same time doesn't automatically mean those things are directly related. The reason I think Steph TXMA has come to think that is because this video Bobby made is a misrepresentation of how certain things happened. Not in a we all have our own subjective experiences way, but in a I can prove this isn't the order in which things happened way.
Not long after the doxing begins, Steph TXMA takes to her channel in what I believe to be an attempt at covering her tracks, claiming she's the one who was doxed.
It's really hard to argue that this short was an effort to deflect from being called out by you, Bobby, if it happened in the morning.
Good morning and afternoon, everybody.
Before said calling out, and before the things you were calling her out for. She shows that the account was created over a week earlier and had been doxing her for days at that point. So unless she had the keys to your time machine.
Well, not long after this, Steph removed her comment on my channel. A false Recaps with Bobby account was created, and doxing of Tira's father on half of a dozen posts and videos on my channel began.
You made this video on December 20th, 2021. This fake Bobby account was created in February 2018. So no, it wasn't created that day. And Steph removed her comment after the doxing started, not before. She didn't remove it because she was somehow secretly involved. She removed it because someone doxed Tira's father underneath it, and she didn't want to have anything to do with that. She showed the screenshots for this in the video she made the following day. So hold your horses, Sherlock. I too can make anything look suspicious if I'm allowed to reorder all the key events. Steph TXMA wasn't even the most likely suspect here. Tira is always in and out of fights with other creators in different communities. And at the time, Steph's name wasn't even the one being thrown around as this was playing out. Pretty much everybody who commented, even Bobby and Tira themselves, thought it was someone named Dean or this guy Shoe Nice. Not to mention, the doxes weren't just happening on Tira and Bobby's channels. There are other creators that commented on Bobby's video and said, hey, I had one of these comments on my channel also yesterday. And some of these channels are places I haven't even seen Steph TXMA comment or participate. So it would just be a little strange to assume that she was the one behind all of this. I get that as subscribers, we don't see everything that happens online with our favorite creators. And I can understand Bobby seeing pieces of this, being disappointed that Steph TXMA was, from what he thought he was seeing, participating in doxing harassment and making a call out video. But if that were what got us from here to here, I would think Steph proving with a pile of timestamp receipts that Bobby just got his timeline wrong would have cleared things up. Instead, this was Bobby's response. He was dismissive to subscribers that pointed these things out as well. In Bobby's video, he made a big deal of how convenient it was that all of Steph TXMA's supporters and subscribers would show up in these comment threads where the doxes were happening. These weren't just Steph's subscribers though, Bobby, they were your subscribers too, which means they weren't conveniently there to participate. They were just there to watch your content. And I know I'm getting a little sidetracked here, but I just want to show this one last interaction because this one just blew me away. This is a sub who commented on an entirely different video about something else. And Bobby comes back at them and accuses them of being there to stand up for quote unquote big techs. And the subscriber says, I don't know who big techs is. I don't know who that is. And Bobby responds and says that he'd been prowling and saw her commenting on Steph TXMA's channel. Like, that's just not appropriate. Treating subscribers this way just isn't okay. So at this point, it looks like Recaps with Bobby is pretty stuck to this narrative. It seems like there's no amount of evidence that's going to change his mind about this. I mean, short of him finding out who's actually behind.
I totally agree. I don't think people should be bringing subscribers into it. I really don't. I don't. I made the mistake of calling out one subscriber one time, and that's it. But I do not think subscribers should be content. Now, if you're reading mean comments or you're responding to troll comments on your channel, because a lot of creators do that. They make videos of reading mean comments. I know we've all seen those, right? Now, I have done that. And I damn sure show screen names and everything, because if you commented the shit publicly, then I'm allowed to show your name with the comment publicly because you already did that. You know what I mean? That's not doxing. But anyway, yeah. So there's that.
The fake Recaps with Bobby account, right?
Mrs. Roadhog, I believe, using a sock of her own created around the same time as this haha account used to dox Marissa, began commenting under Mrs. Roadhog as myself. A viewer alerted me and here we are. I shall demonstrate that this is not my account, via screen record. Mrs. Roadhog, your desperate reaches for attention is quite alarming. Do kindly piss off now. Cheers.
clicks through and shows this channel's creation date, which is the same one as the fake Recaps with Bobby account that was doxing Tyra Nicole's family members. A commenter even asked if this was the same account that showed up before, and Bobby hearted that comment. My point is that I don't think Bobby really believed Steph TXMA had anything to do with doxing. I think he had a personal issue with Steph because he is DENA. And there's nothing wrong with having a personal issue with someone, changing your opinion of them, deciding you don't like them for any reason at all. But if you're pretending to be a robot cat and you don't want to betray your programmer's biases, you need a reason to make a video on someone. As I mentioned before, up until Recaps with Bobby's video, no one thought Steph TXMA was involved in the doxing. So it's suspicious the only other person to think this was DENA, which she insinuated in her community post before Bobby's video was uploaded. And according to Steph,
Then in that 42-minute video, which I still have all the screenshots too, randomly Recaps with Bobby commented this video with like an emoji like this, right? Now that's interesting because DENA never talked about Bobby and Bobby never talked about DENA, and they never commented on each other's videos or anything. I never saw any of that. So then I get this video, like I said, from Recaps by Bobby, who suddenly, all of a sudden, doesn't like me. And it's saying that I'm weaponizing my mental health, or I was suicide baiting or something like that. And I had to make a whole video about Bobby. I'm just going to say it. I think DENA is Bobby. And you can be mad at me. I do believe that people should have the right to have an account and be anonymous. But it's relevant to me because of the things I was fucking accused of from DENA. And then with her fucking lying video. And then the next day from Bobby. And then Bobby continued to follow me around anywhere I went. I went in T-Spiracy's chat one time, takes a photo of it and puts it in a video.
First up, Big Tex is popping back up on YouTube. The internet would appreciate her extended absence.
So now you're going to follow me around. Okay, cool. That's so weird.
so yeah, Bobby continued following Steph around anytime she made a comment in a chat or went live on her channel to just shoot the shit about things with her subscribers, which hardly seems important enough to make videos about. But okay, Bobby started calling Steph some variation of a selective justice warrior or a social justice warrior of convenience.
Perhaps we need the social justice warrior of convenience.
Which is what DENA had begun to say about Steph as well. Bobby's main argument in this video is that Steph is a hypocrite for leaving the platform to focus on her real life while her friends were having issues with Roadhog.
Since her last toss of rocks and hiding of hands, to which she reached that creators simply must defend her at all costs.
Which is interesting because that's the complaint that DENA had in her video that started this entire mess. And it was always a misunderstanding or an overreaction of sorts on DENA's part, as Steph explained in her response to DENA.
No one is rewriting anything. I'm not coming after you. Period. Nor did I ask you or anybody else to make a bashing style video. And in this video you just put up today, it definitely seems like that I was wanting you to get on your platform and call people all kinds of names and shit. False. I never asked anybody to do that. I asked people to ask for proof. That's what I asked for. Don't expect everybody to watch or know everything that was happening, especially since a lot of it was happening behind the scenes. But I just find it interesting that at one point you were following all the drama enough to make videos. You know what I'm saying?
Bobby and DENA also share this, an odd interest in Steph's background.
I'm only going to show a little bit of my library as it very much triggers Miss DENA Danzig. So just a little bit, DENA. Just like this half and like just a couple of shelves. Cool?
I said, welcome to America in a video, and that's Steph TX and a bookshelf lost their proverbial mind, right? Go sit in your library. Yeah, okay, because you can do that.
The last thing I should point out is that Bobby's nickname for Steph, Big Tex,
Our least favorite internet copper, Big Tex death,
is itself revealing. At that point, no one on YouTube knew that the TX in TXMA stood for Texas, except for DENA.
I believe that you two are the same. I think every time DENA gets into a fight with someone, then Bobby comes and makes a video about it. I think that you sit on your real channel and try to act like the peacemaker of YouTube, and then you go over to your Bobby channel and you fucking trash everybody. That's what I now believe.
And there are some other examples of this as well, although most of the people involved have removed so much of the relevant content. Caroline Ironwell, for one, who both DENA and Bobby had run-ins with online, and whom they both referred to as a petulant child. A creator named JKJ Declassified, or Jessie, is another potential example. Recaps with Bobby was among the creators that made videos about her in November of 2021.
My darling, the very idea that you feel as though the internet should be axed at the gallows for simply speaking your name, when you have created an entire channel that lacks any ability to snark with even minimal intelligent rhetoric, is quite laughable. Also, brush your fucking hair.
He didn't make a video about her again until January of 2022, the day after DENA tweeted the following. And yes, I know Jessie is far from a reliable narrator. I know she accused a lot of people of harassing her, bullying her, contacting her on sock accounts, but it's the timing I'm more interested in here. You'll see that the screenshot was taken on the 28th of January, but it was from, it says a day ago. So it was actually tweeted, rather, on the 27th of January. And in that thread, DENA says that, well, I deleted the comments, but I saved them in case I have to dust off my rebuttal pants. And the following day, on January 28th, Bobby posts this video.
Never watched your videos, but you have been messaging me on socks and you know it. And I have seen your titles and thumbnails, and it's disturbing. Take care. If you like lies and mean girl mentality with a side of slander, check this channel out. They even hide behind a cat.
Speaking of titles,
Mean girl behavior. Okay, let's talk about mean feline behavior. Okay, you're an asshole. You're fucking mean and hateful. You are. Your entire content, all it is you doing nothing but ad hominem attacks and being a bitch. You're mean. You're fucking mean. And people are finally fucking seeing it. You're a fucking asshole and you're fucking mean.
Distracting, blinding red, screeching banshee. You insufferable banshee, oh dear banshee of the hypocrisy. It was screeching like a banshee and screamed like a banshee for—
and this is something I remember Dina used to say as well.
And if she could ever actually tell me without just calling me names and acting like a screaming banshee in a stream, that's why I won't watch her, because I'm not going to listen to it.
Maybe one of the most notable examples of Dina using Bobby's channel to fight her personal battles is what happened in her falling out with a creator named Claire. Claire, Dina, and Recaps with Bobby all participated in a series they referred to with the hashtag #EnoughIsEnough, in which a group of creators came together to take a stand against bullying and harassment online. When Claire started getting heat on Twitter for her opinion regarding an ongoing feud between Roadhog and Seaspiracy, Dina was in DMs telling friends that Claire had been pressuring her to defend her on her channel. You know, given her reputation for being Miss fucking reasonable and all. Dina alluded to this in a Patchwork podcast episode she uploaded on March 30th, 2022, addressing the Enough is Enough movement.
I support Enough is Enough for my reasons, okay? I am not responsible for Claire, okay? There have been plenty of times that she has been on Twitter arguing points about different issues going on online in that sphere or group of people, is the only way I could really word it. I didn't have to jump in and defend her. I also didn't have to agree with anything that was said, you know? You cannot put that expectation on me or anyone else to be more abrasive than I typically would be, or to be more aggressive, or to go call out this person and this person and this person, because I'm not a call out channel.
The same day, over on Recaps with Bobby's channel,
I shall also like to voice my disappointment in some creators from the Enough is Enough sphere of the internet. As some of you know, I not so long ago made a statement in favor of the movement. However, today I should like to retract that statement. While some creators have discussed problematic and dangerous issues, I am quite gutted to see that others have chosen to only emerge from the shadows when it is both safe and convenient. As a result of your silence, mocking media, Claire and Rose, would be that now Roadhog is
You mean the same way you came out of hiding after it was convenient for you? Because didn't you leave YouTube for however long? Some more hypocrisy. Served up right here on your little red platter. God, this is a great video. Kudos to whoever fucking did this video, dude. For real. I'm even going to share it on my goddamn community tab because it's fucking amazing. In case y'all want to watch it without me fucking, you know, stopping it and talking about it. Because I have had so... This cat has been hateful as fuck to me. Hateful as fuck. Never one time. Even when I was being torn to shreds for no reason, this motherfucker was still dragging me for no reason.
escalating against Seaspiracy and using your movements to do it. To say that I am gobsmacked by your selective outrage is an understatement.
This started issues with Mocking Media and Countertalk, who Bobby started to insinuate were accounts run by Claire. In response, Mocking Media uploaded this parody video
Bloody hell, what just happened?
featuring Claire, Bobby, and a handful of subscribers who had been critical of Claire and Mocking Media in recent days. The tweets were flying back and forth for a few weeks, and Bobby began accusing Claire of secretly collaborating with Roadhog to send threats to her and anyone else speaking out against Claire. If you find yourself asking the question, hey, what happened to Dina in all of this? Well, exactly. She did that live stream politely declining to defend Claire, made a few tweets taking essentially the same opinion Bobby had in his video, and announced she was disassociating herself from the Enough is Enough movement. But while Bobby was going at it hard on Twitter, Dina was making the same claims about being threatened by Claire privately to friends. A couple of other things I want to point out with this whole Enough is Enough example. First of all, for two people who complain constantly about hypocrisy and selective social justice warriors, Bobby and Dina have a lot of nerve because only a month or two prior to this, they were both recommending that people ignore Roadhog as a quote-unquote social experiment.
I mean, don't do any of the petty stuff, you know? Don't make memes about him. Don't discuss her pregnancy. Just
stop insulting them, even though you're so mad at them, and see what happens. Let's stop saying bad things about him and only talk about behaviors, right? But not directly at him, if that makes sense. And just see what happens. Don't call it being bullied into silence. Call it a science experiment, right? A social experiment, if you will.
A second point is that throughout the entire feud between Bobby the Cat and Mocking Media, Bobby continued to assert that no, him outing Mocking Media wasn't doxing anyone. If Bobby saw no issues with him talking about the similarities between Claire's and Mocking Media's channels, then he should have zero issues with me comparing his and Dina's. And maybe someone can point him back here when he begins to whinge about it. Yeah, okay. Finally, the Enough is Enough fallout highlights the absurdity of Bobby asking his audience to believe that him and Dina didn't know one another. You're telling me that after a full year of covering the same topics in the same community with the same moderators, same online circle of friends, getting involved in the same dramas and feuds with only a handful of other participants, and you barely know of one another and have interacted only like 3 times. No way. I call bullshit. Although Bobby has never denied being Dina, Dina has definitely denied being Bobby. She claimed it was an insult to her as a mother to suggest that she take that much time away from her kids to be a commentary cat. But Dina has always been a prolific creator. She's always had all of these different series going on, several channels at once. She had her main channel with the content I've been mainly talking about so far. Later on, she started doing special effects makeup there, some vlogs, random things like wig reviews. Then she had her second channel, Miss Dina's Corner, where she did DIY content. That channel later became Dreaming with Monsters, where she uploaded short stories with her daughters.
I went to school today. We were supposed to draw a cat. Everybody said I drew a monster.
She had an art metal channel, whatever that is, and she always kept all of these things going at once. Say what you want about Dina Danzig, but it took a lot of work and time to keep all that going.
Off where I take all 3 of their girls and then they take my 2 so that I have a full day to record my uploads and stuff. So it'll work out.
Oh, so you do more than one upload in a day? You try to knock them out for the week?
Oh, geez. The other day when I finally had no kids here for the first time in probably, I don't know, a year, I did 5 videos. I did 3 for my main channel and then 2 for my sensory channel in that like 5-hour span. Plus the live.
Wow. Plus the live too? Wow. Yeah. Well, I aspire to get that much done.
So yeah, not buying that one. Her other argument was that recaps with Bobby's videos were a quote-unquote level of editing and animation that I am not capable of. On that note, I'd like to introduce you to the Raven's Hearth. It looks like it was also called the Rockin' Raven at one point. This is Dina's old channel, where she uploaded clip art style short animated videos. And this was 9 years ago. So for Dina to say she didn't possess the skill to edit or animate Bobby's videos is a flat out lie. And you'll notice that Bobby's style of editing and animation is incredibly similar. She also illustrated and animated this short story that she self-published on Amazon.
Mr. Cuddles went everywhere Lucy dared to go. He quite enjoyed the garden, but wasn't fond of snow. One day, the family dog, quite grumpy with age, bit Lucy's hand in a fit of rage. Lucy screamed and cried and hugged Cuddles tight. The dog looked into his button eyes and fled in fright.
She would even create these short animated music videos for up-and-coming bands. In the channel's About section, Dina links to her DeviantArt account. And I want to take a second to go through some of what's on the DeviantArt and this channel because the aesthetics of this channel and Bobby's channel are so incredibly similar. So I'll start right here with the witch. A lot of her artwork is centered around this witch theme, especially witches with black cats.
White, a modern witch possessed a cat companion named Bobby.
Black cats in general. A lot of black cats running like this. Then there are other animals running.
You're a grown man. He's a robot cat. Pull yourself together.
Horses running. Usually a lot of these animals are running through green fields with the blue sky behind them. There are also a ton of unicorns. Again, particularly if they're running. Skeleton unicorns running. We know how much Dina loved a skeleton unicorn. Do a couple of side-by-side comparisons here. There are some of these that are so similar that you would not be able to tell which was from Bobby's channel and which was from Dina's DeviantArt account. Dina also has photos of her own pet cats on there, and I'm wondering if this black cat right here is the actual original Bobby the cat. Let's talk about probably the most damning proof that Dina is Bobby, which is this screen recording included in several of Recaps with Bobby's videos about Tara Nicole. It amazes me that Dina has continued to use this clip without realizing it's giving her away, but yes, she continues to, even as recently as a few weeks ago. You'll see it says stores nearest you and then Claremont, which is a city in Lake County, Florida, where Dina is from. No, this isn't a dox. Lake County, Florida has been in her Twitter bio for years. She would mention where she was from all the time.
I had to call Lake County Sheriff's Department.
She had a series discussing true crime stories specific to Lake County, Florida. She once even offered exactly how many miles she lived from Tara Nicole in a live chat. I don't know where exactly Tara lives or lived, My point is that this isn't information she was trying to keep hidden. This isn't even a situation where she may have accidentally doxed herself once. Where she's from isn't anything she's ever wanted to keep secret. When someone showed this to me, my first question was, could someone have sent this to Bobby, like a subscriber maybe? But the first time this clip was used was very early on in Bobby's channel when he had maybe a few hundred subs, and he has always said he doesn't DM, email, anything with anyone. We know now he does DM, but I don't think you can send a video in Twitter DMs, and you definitely can't send a clip this long on Instagram, so that would leave emails and just plain old text messages. Someone else mentioned that Bobby claimed to use a VPN and incognito mode to throw his location and drop misleading hints. But I'm told that most people don't run VPNs on their mobile phones and that a VPN wouldn't allow someone to set their location to a specific county or city anyway, like in this case. Not to mention, if you are a channel with less than 1,000 subs and you're out here doing things like throwing your location and dropping misleading hints, I think that alone is really suspicious. Keep in mind, the first time Bobby used this clip was very early on. It was before Roadhog was threatening him and trying to dox people, thinking that they were him, or anything else that would be understandably concerning. I can get using a VPN for safety reasons, but to be intentionally dropping misleading hints and throwing your location to throw people off, like, dude, why are you doing that with a few hundred subs? I don't buy it. I don't think that's what happened. I just think that now that people are trying to figure out who Bobby is, he's been saying that, for good measure, to cover his tracks in case he missed something, I don't know, like this, that someone would later find. And before someone asks me, is it possible that that's because that's where Tira is from? That's Tira's location, not Bobby's location. I didn't know how this stuff works either. I had to ask, but no, if you go to that stream of Tira's on your own, it'll show an ad specific to your location. I'm not going to include a clip because I don't want to give my location away, but no, you can check that for yourself. And then I thought about it and thought, well, maybe Tira screen recorded her own live and sent it to Bobby, but I don't know why she would be sending Bobby clips to use in videos to make about her. That doesn't make any sense either. So I just don't see a way to explain this one away on Bobby's part. Okay, so after all of this, why should you even care? The first thing I think a lot of people have expressed they were bothered by is the story about Bobby's wife who passed away, which if that's not true, then he came back to the platform, uploaded that story, which he said he's not sad fishing, immediately came back and started asking for donations. He reactivated his channel memberships. There are people that were sitting behind the scenes talking about making this video who saw that video go up and said, I felt bad. I felt bad for him. And then they woke up the next day and said, well, now I'm pissed because I remembered, I don't actually think this is true. And it's really inappropriate to be using a story like that to, essentially get donations. Moving on, it is unethical to use an anonymous channel to speak about creators that you have personal relationships or issues with as a different creator. I'll start with what happened with Steph TXMA, because if DENA is actually behind the Recaps with Bobby account, that would mean that only a few days after Steph TXMA said publicly on her channel that DENA was one of the only people she expressed how much she was struggling with her mental health.
Nor did she reach out and tell me how bad things had gotten. Yes, I did. You were one of the people that I reached out to and told that I wanted to use. So is that not telling you how bad things had gotten? I think that that's the epitome of telling you how bad things had gotten.
That 2 days later, DENA went onto her Recaps with Bobby channel and accused her of suicide baiting, which is terrible. Next, Caroline Ironwell. If DENA's truly behind the Recaps with Bobby account, throwing this pissing in a jar incident in her face in the middle of a fight on Twitter is really disgusting behavior, considering that people continuing to bring that incident up on account of Bobby's videos about it caused her so much distress. And I really wonder what Caroline would have felt about that had she known then that DENA was actually Bobby the Cat. She certainly wouldn't still be participating in DENA's live streams and even offering to do a collaboration with her.
Life, art, opinion. What? I just read my own name. What the hell? I have a collab idea. Sobriety and neo-pagan communities as a druid. Whiskey is essentially holy water. I make my own award-winning mead. That's pretty cool.
Todd Paulson is actually another example because most people know that Katie Joy Paulson's husband, Todd, was an active participant on DENA's channel and has been to a certain extent on Bobby's, less so. Todd would go into her live chats and chat with her. I'm not sure how he'd feel if he knew that that person he was talking to was the person who was making videos of her as Gollum, making jokes about her chin, or her supposed drinking problems.
Or child.
Your hints of crimes and speculation are more random than the direction of your chin, and you walk around with that face. Where did your upper lip go?
That's pretty bad. Finally, DENA's using this robot cat character she created as a shield, right? To not need to interact in the ways that are expected of her with subscribers and people she covers in this community. That's why she created an emotionless robot cat character. And, Bobby brushes off all criticism as people who are just upset that characters they like have been featured. And he says that all opinions are welcome. But let's be honest, Bobby's comment section does in fact echo. DENA can sit at her computer behind a robot cat character all she wants, but that doesn't actually mean that you're unbiased. So often I see people leave Bobby, constructive criticism, even slightly salty comments. Things that normally most creators would brush off are met with well, who told you I cared about your feelings? Or, this is fact-based and your opinions aren't important here, which is not the way you talk to your subscribers. It's just not. The lashing out at people who simply watched your videos and said, hey, Bobby, you claimed to be a woman at one point is absolutely outrageous. So many people watched Bobby's video and came away with the assumption that Bobby said his programmer was a woman. So many. So Bobby needs to knock it off with that. I mean, here's just a few months ago. A bunch of Bobby's original moderators and Dina's supposed real-life friends in a live chat talking openly about Bobby the cat being a woman. Someone in chat says, Bobby's a she. I have her profile pic when she started Bobby. And this Blue Trolls account, who is supposedly like a personal friend of Dina's, says, I found out because Bobby liked a comment I made. So people see this stuff. They watch your videos. You can't be upset with people for just repeating what they see around and on your channel. So get the fuck over yourself. Don't talk to people that way. To shut people down by saying, I'm just a robot cat, and ridiculing them is pretty awful, particularly when the things you're covering on your channel are sensitive issues for some of these smaller creators, like I mentioned Steph, or Tira with her cats passing away, or, Caroline Ironwell, or a person I hadn't talked about in this video at all, as seen by a subscriber, Coley, who Bobby was calling meth mouth. I mean, this is a woman who was attacked. I think she was robbed and ended up losing a tooth. So I don't know. That's just really insensitive to say about somebody. I saw recently Bobby denied doing this. Bobby said, well, this was something that maybe was a spoofed account did. No, it was in Bobby's video. It was in a video.
She is hiding Gabby Petito hashtags and uploading ridiculous.
That is so fucking true, y'all. This motherfucker has come at me every which way he can, or she can, or whoever. Let me tell you something. If this is in fact Dena, I'm going to find out. I'm going to find out. And right now, I truly believe you are. I was a fucking... Oh, let me explain to y'all what happened, okay? In April of 2021, okay, I had to leave my house and go get my son. It was 2 o'clock in the morning, roughly 2 o'clock. I went to a Walgreens. We had moved from Shreveport, Louisiana to Oklahoma, okay, because my husband's in the oil field. I went to a Walgreens in the middle of the night to get my son fucking medication, okay? I saw a dude as I was walking to my car. I went to go get in it, and I had my wallet in one hand and the bag of stuff I bought on my arm, right here, okay? And this motherfucker rushed me from behind. You know that feeling you get when you're scared all of a sudden, like when somebody startles you? Imagine that feeling, but you can't make it go away because somebody's beating you in the fucking face. Beating you in the fucking face, okay? Hardcore beating you. Bitch never got my wallet though. But regardless, he was beating me in the face hard. I have a video on my channel all about it. My head was swollen. My face was swollen. I had a bruise, a huge bruise here that went all the way down my fucking face. My mouth was all kinds of beat up. My whole face, my neck was fucking hit everywhere. I had bruises on all parts of my body from about here up. And he has the nerve to say that I have meth mouth. I don't even know what the fuck meth looks like in real life. I've never done meth. Not one time. Not one time. So for this motherfucker to get on there and talk shit about my mouth, knowing that shit, piece of motherfucking shit. Dina Danzig or not, both of y'all motherfuckers have a special place in hell.
Short videos in which she is making some attempt at being sexy and Satan, all covering her meth mouth.
And I think that's a good example of maybe what happens when you make a channel where you don't ever intend to be held accountable. You know what I mean? That you're going to say things that maybe you wouldn't normally say about somebody. Anyway, that's all I have. Thanks for watching, and I will leave you with this.
I never watched that video before. So I never saw that in part before. Whoever made that video, thank you for bringing that up. Because people constantly come at me about that. And I don't deserve it. You can critique whatever I do online, but you don't have to do that. You don't have to go that low. That's why I stopped keeping my hand in front of my face. Because I shouldn't be ashamed of some shit I didn't do. This was done to me. I was fucking attacked. It's so wrong. And then the fact I can prove that after Bobby and while Bobby was saying all this shit, I had DENA in my fucking chats being nice to me, telling me, I'm so sorry people come at you for your mouth. I know what happened to you. It's so wrong. It's so wrong. But I just really appreciate this person for saying something, because it's not fair. It's not right. It's not fair. It's just not. It's just not. It's fucked up on so many levels. It's fucked up on so many levels. So many people trust so.
Hold on, let me get my glasses on so I can see it.
So many people try to down me for anything that I've done, and they continuously call me meth mouth, all this other bullshit. That is not fucking true. It's just not. It's not true. And if it was, I have no shame in telling you that, you know what I mean? If it would have come from that, I will tell you. Why? Because I wouldn't be ashamed of it. If it was due to fucking addiction, I would say something. Why? Because I'm not fucking ashamed of it at all. I'm not ashamed of the fact that I was addicted to opiates before. I just wasn't. I'm not ashamed of that shit, right? So that's why I don't feel the need to cover my mouth anymore. I only did that because I had people like Bobby doing that to me. Okay? Now, since we're here, I'm just going to go ahead and show y'all something just so y'all can see exactly what happened. I even made a video right when it happened, right when I was beaten. Okay, now, do y'all see these pictures? Okay, let me make it full screen so you can see. Okay, and then I'm going to take myself off. Look at this. Do you see? Let me go back in and turn down the speed. The speed is up to way too high, normal. Okay, so let's go back to here. So you can see the progression. All right. You see that? Day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. I literally took it day by day and showed y'all what happened. So you could see I was beat in the fucking face. And the reason why people keep saying, well, it doesn't seem like your mouth got messed up. It doesn't seem like your mouth got messed up. Yada, yada, yada. Well, okay, I'm sorry. The only reason why I didn't show my mouth all bloody and shit was because that was bad enough. Why would I want to show you dripping in blood? Should I have already gone and taken care of this shit already? Yeah. But fun fact, since I have lupus, anytime I get stressed out or anything, I get ulcers in my mouth. I'm talking about bad ones. Big, huge fucking ulcers in my mouth due to the fucking illness that I can't control. I didn't ask to get lupus, okay? And now the very top of my mouth have ulcers all in them. So I've already started my dental process to be fixed. You see how white these teeth are? It's because I had veneers. Because I used to have an amazing fucking smile. And then someone took that from me. And then you have these motherfuckers over here saying it's from something that it's not from. And it's wrong. So thank you so much to the person who said that. Thank you so much. Because I'm so tired of that narrative. That's not what happened. And if it was, I've been open about my journey about addiction on this channel. I told y'all I was addicted to pain medication, and how it started was because of several breast implants and I had all my veneers done. Okay? Matter of fact, look. Hold on. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm not trying to take forever. I just wanted to show y'all something, okay? Okay. Hold on. Okay. Let's go down. Hold on. Hold on, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay. Okay, here we go. Hold on. It's just queuing up. Sorry, y'all. I don't want commercials on here, so hold on. Okay. Okay. StreamYard. Let me show you. Present. Screen. Okay. Share screen. Share. This is what I was like when I first started my channel. Okay? This is what it looked like when I first started my channel. Okay? This literally right here. Okay? And then literally like a week or two later, this happened. I got beat in the fucking face. Okay? So it's just beyond me how people are so fucking heartless. Fucking heartless. And then you assume that I've done meth. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I have a terminal illness, dude. Why are you picking on people for some shit they can't control? And that goes for anybody out there. Why are you picking on people for shit they can't control? I know I've been a hypocrite in the past. Here is the difference. I own my shit. I tell people when I fuck up. I apologize when I do shit wrong. I get on my channel and I try to make it right. With this Bobby motherfucker, this fucking fake ass feline DENA, okay, they think they're above everyone. Why, I don't know. But after that video, I definitely think it's fucking DENA. I do 100,000% think it's DENA. Too many. Okay. There are sometimes I know some people are like, I don't believe in coincidences. Sometimes I believe there are. But that's very rare. Very rare for that many goddamn for that many fucking coincidences, okay? So basically what I want to say at the end of this, fuck you, Bobby, and fuck you, DENA. And thank you so much, Steph, and whoever else made that fucking video. I am so appreciative. You have no idea for even just thinking to putting me in the very end, but also just for the entire video. Thank you so much for making this video. And also, again, thank you for saying something about it at the very end, because that shit hurts deep, bro. It really does. So anyways, babies, on that note, you know what we do? Chaos Crew, baby. Chaos Crew. Guess what? Love you, mean it. Bye.